Welcome to 1999, the year of the
Välkommen till Montreal, Quebec, där EA Sports presenterar NHL-säsongsmatchen mellan New York Rangers och Montreal Canadiens.
It's time for the world's fastest game. I'm Jim Houston.
And I'm Darryl Ray, looking forward to a big one here tonight.
And here are the goaltenders for this game. Thibault will be up against Richter. The New York Rangers win the faceoff. To Damphus. To LaFontaine. Quick shot! LaFontaine knocks the puck away. Malakoff over to the wing. Damphus gets shoved by LaFontaine. Moves in. LaFontaine passes it across. Pass intercepted. Malakoff starts out. Malakoff over to the wing. To Corson. He blasted it. It was stopped by Richter. Passes it across to Samuelson. Moves in. Savage shoots! Richter gives it to Karpatsev. To Samuelson. Pass intercepted by Damphus. Karpatsev knocked to the ice by Savage. Ulanov could be biting off more than he can chew. Samuelson throws his gloves to the ice. Now they start to throw punches. Ulanov holding the upper hand in this one. Ulanov connects in a big way.
That last shot caught him on the button.
Ulanov lands the victory blow, and this fight is over. Ulanov will get 5 minutes for that little show of affection. So will Samuelson.
Montreal penalty to number 55, Igor Ulanov, a 5-minute major for fighting. New York Rangers penalty to number 5, Ulf Samuelson, a 5-minute major for fighting.
Quintal jars the puck loose. It's still tied, 0-0. Thornton shoots! He scores! The teams line up for the faceoff.
Montreal goal, scored by number 24, Scott Thornton, assisted by number 5, Stefan Quintal.
Richter stops that. 2:07 left in the period. Moves in. Gretzky to the net. to Kovalev. Pass intercepted. Grenade out of his own zone. Richter moves it to Bukaboom. Bukaboom turns it over. The Montreal Canadiens go offside. The New York Rangers win the faceoff. Karpatsev to center. Karpatsev was knocked down. Moves in. To McLean. Into the slot. Quick shot! Montreal still leads by just a goal.
Last minute of play in the first period.
The Canadiens move the puck out of their own zone. To Koivu. To Karpatsev. LaFontaine passed it to Karpatsev. 10 seconds remaining in the period. After one period, the Canadiens lead by 1 goal.
Fans, don't forget to buy a raffle ticket between periods. 50 cents from each ticket goes to charity.
Well, let's move to the second period. Hey, Razor, these guys can play.
Well, you can only hope that the second's as good as the first was.
They move into position for the faceoff. Just 2 minutes left in the penalty to Ulanov. Montreal pushing for the insurance marker at this point. To McLean. Zalapsky knocks down McLean. Zalapsky out of his own zone. Zalapsky to the net. Driver moves it ahead. Moves in. Pass intercepted. Tom Foose to Zalapsky. Zalapsky passes it back. LaFontaine moves it to his own blue line. Savage knocks the puck away. To Savage. Savage comes in offside. Thornton settles in for the faceoff. He'll face off against Fraser. Driver was knocked down by Vakota. Thornton shoots to Popovich. Popovich passes it across. Harvey knocked down by Zalapsky. Fraser winds up. Tebow made the save. His pass intercepted by Harvey. Driver moves in. Pass intercepted. Thornton starts out. Has the puck on a string. To the net.
He'll stop that shot all game long.
Belted and knocked down by Vakota. Stevenson scores! Kulak gets to the circle. He'll face off against Gretzky. They drop the puck.
Montreal goal, scored by number 23, Turner Stevenson.
Intercepted by Brunet. He's flattened by Bukaboom. Kovalev across to Bukaboom. To Bukaboom. Bukaboom passes it across. Sundstrom to center. The Canadiens lead by 2. Brunet races in alone. Takes the shot.
Stellar net minding.
To Berg. Moves in. Berg shoots. Manson passes ahead. Berg to York. It looks like these two want to settle something. Samuelson drops his gloves. Manson gets the first punch in. Manson came out punching and he hasn't stopped. Manson connects in a big way.
He used him as a human pinata.
Manson puts an end to the fight with that shot. A penalty's been called.
Montreal penalty to number 22, Dave Manson, a 5-minute major for fighting.
Penalty called for roughing.
New York Rangers penalty to number 5, Ulf Samuelsson, 2 minutes for roughing. Last minute of play in the second period.
At center to Sundstrom. to Malakoff. Tebow moves the puck to Malakoff. Malakoff out of his own zone. 20 seconds remaining in the period. To Thornton. Leach moves it on. Moves in. Then he blasted it. After 2 periods, Montreal leads by 2 goals.
The concession will remain open until midway through the third period.
Time now for the third period of EA Sports NHL 99. LaFontaine won the draw. LaFontaine winds up. The puck gets knocked loose. Across to Malakoff. LaFontaine knocks the puck away. Back to Malakoff. Malakoff jars the puck loose. Samuelson leaves the box. That'll mean a short power play for New York. Karpatsev moves it into the middle. Moves in. He then made the pass to Samuelson. Corson out of his own zone. To the net. Ulanov winds up. To LaFontaine. Canadiens 2, the New York Rangers 0. This is going to be a real test for Samuelson. Ulanov throws his gloves to the ice. Samuelson gets things started. This fight's been pretty close. Ulanov goes after him with a haymaker.
Not hard to pick a winner there.
Ulanov puts an end to the fight with that shot. Ulanov will sit for 5 minutes after that bout, and so will Samuelson.
Montreal penalty to number 55, Igor Ulanov, a 5-minute major for fighting. New York Rangers penalty to number 5, Ulf Samuelson, a 5-minute major for fighting.
Moves in. Corson shoots! 1:36 left in the penalty. Both teams are passing well in this game. Sundstrom winds up. Over to Karpatsev. Moves in. Great hit! Brisebois into the middle. The Canadiens will change on the fly. Corson shoots! The Montreal Canadiens are ahead by 2. To Sundstrom. Malakoff passes ahead. Recchi over to the wing. To the net. The puck's knocked loose by Graves. Time runs out on the penalty to Manson. Richter passes it across.
Last minute of play in the third period.
He's jolted by Sundstrom. Montreal having success at both ends of the rink in this game. To Graves. To Fraser. Only 30 seconds to go. Malakoff across to Koivu. The Canadiens change up their lines.
Oh, did he drill him?
Moves in. Montreal looks to be in control of this game. The game is over! The Canadiens have won the game!
Välkommen till Montreal, Quebec, där EA Sports presenterar NHL-säsongsmatchen mellan Mighty Ducks of Anaheim och Montreal Canadiens.
Marhoff won the draw. Moves in. Grabbed by Hebert. Hebert passes across. Marshall starts out. Marshall winds up. Thibault passes across to Karpa. Quick shot. Malakoff to center. Moves in. Over to Savage. Hebert kept it out. Marshall into the middle. Who blasted it? Thibault stops it. To Corson. Corson has a breakaway. To Malakoff. The glove save was made by Hebert. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim win the faceoff. Bannister was knocked down. Thornton passes it back. Vakota made the shot. To Bannister. It's 0-0. 2:44 left in the period. Pass intercepted. Zalapsky starts out to center. Zalapsky has a clear path to the net. Bannister intercepts the pass. Bannister moves it on to Green. Green moves in to Bannister, who then blasted it. Zalapsky to the net. Trinka passes it across. Trinka gets the puck to Green. Over to Trinka. To Vakota. It's tied 0-0. Quintel to the net. His pass intercepted by Cullen. Green into the middle.
Last minute of play in the first period.
To Trinka. Trinka passes across. Nielsen to the net. Trinka shoots! Only 30 seconds to go. Poulin to center. Poulin moves in. Brunet shoots! 10 seconds to go. Game on. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim win the faceoff. And that's the end of the first period.
Fans, if you are hit by a puck, please stay in.
Welcome back for the second period of today's game on NHL 99. The Canadians win the faceoff. This is still anybody's game. Ulanov drops his gloves. Ulanov gets the first punch in. Ulanov surprised him with that punch, and again, and again! Ulanov surprised him with that punch. Neither player really taking control of this fight. Ulanov will get 5 minutes for that little show of affection. So will Karpa.
Montreal penalty to number 55, Igor Ulanov, a 5-minute major for fighting. Anaheim penalty to number 33, David Karpa, a 5-minute major for fighting.
They drop the puck. The Mighty Ducks of Anaheim win the faceoff. Intercepted by a bear. Moves the puck to Pusher. He's jolted by Brunet. The teams are deadlocked. Brunet starts out. Intercepted by Luchin. Solani starts out. Hoagland steals the pass. Towards the net. What a hit! To Pusher. Sandstrom moves it on to Pusher. Brisebois to the net. Saved by a bear. A bear covers up the puck for the faceoff. Marshall starts out to Bannister. Bannister winds up. Zalapsky into the middle. Moves in. Zalapsky passes across. Then moves it ahead to Benham. The pass is intercepted by Malakoff. Moves in. Bannister passes ahead. Both teams are looking for the go-ahead goal. Damphus starts out of his own zone. Just 2 minutes left in the penalty to Ulanov. Benham over to the wing. The puck's knocked loose by Zalapsky. Marhoff moves it ahead to Benham. Both teams are passing well in this game. To Korea. Thibault gives it to Damphus. Damphus out of his own zone. The Canadians change up their lines.
Last minute of play in the second period.
Bannister to center. Malakoff over to the wing. The score is even. He's flattened by Recchi. To Koivu. A penalty has been called. Bannister gets called for slashing.
Anaheim penalty to number 5, Drew Bannister, 2 minutes for slashing.
Koivu gets to the circle. He'll face off against Marhoff. Pusher clears the puck. Thibault gives it to Savage. 10 seconds to go. Moves in towards the net. A bear stopped that. And that's the end of the second period.
The concession will remain open until midway through the third period.
Time now for the third period of EA Sports NHL 99. Koivu gets to the circle. He'll face off against Marhoff. Moves in. Savage shoots! Rushinsky scores on the power play! Bannister leads the box as they put that power play goal up on the board. Thornton gets to the circle. He'll face off against Cullen. They drop the puck.
Montreal goal scored on the power play by number 26, Martin Ruzinski, assisted by number 49, Brian Savage.
Great hit! Penalty called for spearing. Anaheim wins the draw cleanly. Moves in to Ruchin. Solani winds up. Damphus out of his own zone. Moves in. Ruchin intercepts the pass. To center. Sandstrom gets a breakaway! He shot it. Thibault gives it to Brisebois. Brisebois gets run over by Pusher. Montreal clinging to the lead right now. Penalty called for roughing.
Montreal penalty to number 27, Shane Corson, 2 minutes for roughing.
The Canadians win the faceoff. To center. The Canadians will change on the fly. Ulanov to the net. To Malakoff. Anaheim has been playing a great passing game so far in this one. This is going to be a real test for Ulanov. Karpa throws his gloves to the ice. Ulanov lands a punishing blow.
You have to give him credit for even getting up.
And it's a decisive win for Ulanov. We have a penalty that's been called. Montreal will have to wait for its first penalty to expire before any time ticks off the penalty to Ulanov.
Montreal penalty to number 55, Igor Ulanov, a 5-minute major for fighting.
Karpa gets called for roughing.
Anaheim penalty to number 33, David Karpa.
Luchin into the slot. Montreal pushing for a little more insurance now. Manson gets the puck to Malakoff. Manson over to the wing. The Canadians are changing on the go. Pusher out of his own zone. Pusher moves in. Malakoff to Manson. Manson into the middle to Pusher. Pusher over to the wing. Anaheim returns to full strength as the penalty expires.
Last minute of play in the third period.
Manson could be biting off more than he can chew. Karpa throws his gloves to the ice. Manson goes after him with a haymaker. This bout has been completely dominated by Manson. And again.
I'd score that 5 for fighting and 5 for receiving.
And it's a decisive win for Manson. A penalty's been called. Manson will go to the penalty box and wait for the next penalty to end before he starts serving his.
Montreal penalty to number 22, Dave Manson, a 5-minute major for fighting.
Penalty against the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim for roughing.
Anaheim penalty to number 33, David Karpa, 2 minutes for roughing.
Marhoff scores on the power play. Rene will stay in the penalty box after that goal because he's serving a major. They move into position for the faceoff.
Anaheim goal scored on the power play by number 10, Joseph Marhoff, assisted by number 20, Steve Ruchin.
The pass was intercepted. The third period is over. This game's going to overtime.